We're here today to unveil the all-new Santa Cruz Hightower 3. The Santa Cruz Hightower is already a cult classic, and with the Hightower 3, Santa Cruz chose to refine rather than redefine, because why fix what isn't broken? I've had the opportunity to ride this bike for the last week or so. Some things I really like about it are just how easy it is to climb. VPP has always been known to be really easy to pedal. There's very little bob whilst pedaling uphill. It means there's a good amount of grip, but it also means it doesn't sap your energy. It's a really good climber. It's also very predictable. On the descents, it feels fast. The geometry kind of lends itself to being able to ride the trails that you know really quickly. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like too much bike. It's one of those bikes it's really easy to ride. Pretty playful bike. It's easy to get air. At the same time, the 29er wheels just roll over bumps really nicely. I like the combination of the big wheels and the kind of mid-travel. It means it's efficient, but it soaks up impacts pretty well. It's just an ideal trail bike. If you had one bike to kill them all, this will be the one. Personally, I really like this bike for our type of riding on the North Shore. A lot of what we have here is really technical and janky, and I like the fact that it's not super long travel. The geometry isn't too slacked out and aggressive. It means it's easy to be able to pick up, move it around those tight corners, push it into a little roll. It means it doesn't feel like too much bike. It's easy to ride. We've also got some really horrible climbs here, and the Hightower just makes them feel a lot easier. If you want something for sending on the bigger, steeper, gnarlier trails, the Megatower might be the bike for you. If you're the kind of person that likes to pedal a lot, if you're going to be riding triple crowns, think about the Hightower. There's a few changes on this bike. Some of them you can see on the surface. Some of them are a little bit hidden. There's some subtle tweaks to the geometry. There's some subtle tweaks to the suspension. They've made some changes to the frame design. It's a great improvement to an already amazing package. This is something we saw on the Megatower too. The glove box is in-frame storage, suitable for a tube, some tools. You could stash some bars in there, some energy, whatever you need. Something else we can see straight away on the bike is the shock window. It was kind of hard to see the shock on some of the older models. Now we've got the little shock window that just makes it really easy to see your sag, makes setting up the bike a breeze. This bike, again on the surface, has some other really cool features that we like from Santa Cruz bikes. It's got the universal derailleur hanger, it's got a threaded bottom bracket, it's boost spacing. Some changes that we can't see on the surface, the geometry. It's longer, lower, slacker in all the right places. The head tube angle is dropped off by 0.7 of a degree just to make it a little bit more stable on the descents. We're now at 64.5 and 64.8 degrees in the high setting. The bottom bracket is dropped by 2 millimeters, just again for a little bit of extra stability and confidence. Santa Cruz are now using proportionate geometry on the Hightower 3. That's again something we've seen on some of their more recent bikes, including the Megatower. What that means is we've got longer chainstays for taller riders. We've got shorter chainstays for shorter riders. Similar for the seat tube angle. It's a little slacker for taller riders, it's a little steeper in the smaller sizes. That means overall a more predictable package, more predictable handling and geometry no matter what size you're on. For the Hightower 3, Santa Cruz have got a size-specific layup. What that means is a stiffness profile that's tailored to each size. So for a taller rider, bigger bike, it means the bike's a little bit stiffer to handle the extra weight and forces on the bike. And for the smaller sizes, the layup is created to be a little bit more flexy. It means that those smaller riders get the same ride characteristics as the taller ones. 3 material options for the Santa Cruz Hightower 3. The aluminum base model, we've got the C carbon and the CC carbon. That's their high-end, super amazing carbon frame. We've got 2 colors in the Hightower 3. We've got this translucent purple, and we've got also a really cool matte emerald color. The Hightower 3 is 29er, same as the last one. That rear travel is VPP, again, same as they've used previously, but they've tuned it just a little bit. Santa Cruz have tweaked the leverage ratio on the Hightower 3 a little bit. It's more supple off the top to soak up those chattery bumps, and it's got a little bit more progression in the rear so that you don't run out of travel too quickly. Santa Cruz have got a knack for just making a bike feel like home whenever you get on it. The Hightower is a perfect example of this. It's the kind of bike, it's your daily driver. It's the kind of bike you grab every day for every ride, and you don't worry about where you're going to take it. You know that it's going to be good. We've got some of these bikes coming to stock very soon, so head down to the store and check them out, or go to our website and see what we've got in stock. Thanks, and see you on the trails.